Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy. Back on four wheels this week, and I'm going to do a quick walk around here of the 2017 Volkswagen Golf Alltrack, which is a new variant slash submodel of the Golf Sport Wagon, which is one of my favorite vehicles. This thing sort of falls in between an A4 Avant and a Subaru Outback. It's actually priced almost identically to the Subaru Outback, and the idea is virtually the same. Subaru takes a legacy wagon and they jack it up a little bit, they add some body cladding, and voila, you've got the Outback. This is a sport wagon with a bit more ground clearance. They've upped it to 6.7 versus 5.5 for the regular sport wagon. As you can see, it's got some body cladding along the bottom and along the fenders there, and a few other little things like that. And of course, it comes standard with all-wheel drive, whereas the sport wagon offers it. It's standard here. It's about $2,000 more expensive to start than the sport wagon, but other than that, it's essentially the same concept. Now, it differs from the Outback in not having quite as much ground clearance. The Outback has a stunning 8.7 inches. Which makes it a really good snow day vehicle. I've got a good friend up here who reveres Subarus for just that reason. She lives down in a holler, as we say in the woods, where it's really difficult to get out if it snows, and so she esteems her Subaru because it's got that extra ground clearance, which this car does not have. Now, on the other side of the equation, what her Subaru does not have, and this thing does have, is power. This comes standard with Volkswagen's 2-liter turbo engine, and of course the Subaru Outback comes standard with a 170 horsepower engine, much less powerful, very slow. Interestingly, the stat is that it takes about 9-something seconds to haul itself to 60, and it has about 9 inches of ground clearance. This thing gets to 60 in about 7 seconds, which is about 2 seconds quicker than the Subaru, but it has 2 inches less ground clearance. So you pays your money and you takes your choices. This thing is a much more sporty car to drive, more enjoyable to drive in my opinion, but a bit less practical. Let me get into that now too. It's a smaller car than the Outback, which has advantages and it has disadvantages. On the advantage side, it's more agile, it has a tighter turning circle, and it's just more fun to drive. It will actually corner really well. The Outback has a bigger footprint, takes up more room in the garage, but it has considerably more room inside, particularly in the back seat. If you go and look at the specifications of these two cars, you will find that the Subaru's got about 3 inches more legroom in the back, and that's pretty significant. Now, cargo-wise, the Subaru has an advantage, but it's not huge. It's got I think it's about 5 to 8 cubic feet more cargo capacity than this thing has. But, you know, the wagon layout in both cases is extremely useful. I had a sport wagon, again, same vehicle, basically, a couple of months ago, and I used it to haul a bunch of stuff that would have been very difficult for me to haul in any other kind of a car, and found it to be a very practical vehicle, and without all the disadvantages of a so-called crossover SUV, which is top-heavy typically and not very sporty, not very enjoyable to drive. These things are very, very popular in Europe, wagons, that is, compact, medium, small wagons, but they're very hard to find in the United States, and they're virtually impossible to find with that combination of all-wheel drive and some ground clearance. Oh, and I forgot to mention, by the way, the one other difference here, this car versus the Subaru, is you can get this with a manual transmission, and the Subaru comes only with the CVT automatic. You get a bit more gas mileage out of the Subaru, you get a lot more fun out of this Volkswagen. Anyhow, I should have a full detailed review of this car up at EP Autos shortly, and I'll also have an article, I think, in the next day or so about an interesting little diagnostic app, a little tool that you can use on your cell phone for your motorcycle if you've got a bike that's got a computer. Motoscan sent me something to try out, so I'll have a full report on that. Anyway, thanks for viewing, and we will catch up with you again soon.